Yo,
Critterpit's back.
so
Can't
back.
believe it. And we're
Very special
here with
guest.
David, but not the
Hello.
David you're used to. The other
No,
David.
my
The
No,
roommate
OG
he's the
David.
David.
other David.
He's the other David.
Yeah, exactly.
We knew you first, I think. So
Yeah, this is the
Really?
OG David.
yeah,
We've got to meet sometime. Got to
yeah,
discuss.
yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. The David verse. It's
A
growing.
David off. David v. David.
Yeah, I got to fight him.
I
I
think
would
so.
love
Yeah.
that. Some gladiatorial combat, some
The
dude
first
two shit.
Critterpit duel. It'd be perfect.
Mhm.
Damn, that would be sick.
Is he
Actually,
like a
that would
Tree
be
of Life hater or something that I could fight him over?
I think he's a Malik lover, isn't he? Or
He
is that
has it. Yeah, he
Alex?
has
Yes.
opinion. No, I think he is a Malik. Not. He doesn't enjoy Malik as much.
But
I don't remember what
he
side of
still
the coin
likes him.
he's on.
Yeah. I feel like he was the Malik boy because I feel like Alex was the
Okay.
Cronenberg boy.
Okay. Sure. That makes
Those
sense.
pork and bones
You
boys,
can
they're all the
only
same
be
to me
one.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude. Oh, speaking of Tree of Life, I watched that movie finally, David.
Yes. What'd you think?
It's pretty good. I wish I saw it in a theater.
Oh,
Because that's a lot of movie,
it is
a
a
lot of
lot of movie. Experience.
imagery, a lot of time periods, a lot of
What'd you think of the dinosaur bit?
Yeah.
I love the dinosaurs. I was fucking hooter and
Yeah, you were there
hollering.
for it.
I was fucking locked in for that.
That's the one part
I
of the movie I feel compelled to, like, warn people about, like, don't laugh.
really,
I
if
don't
you had
know.
told me about the dinosaurs, I would have watched that ASAP, immediately.
Waiting for dinosaur. You might have been disappointed by the dinosaurs then. You're like, that was it?
Yeah.
That's
They're
true.
like barely in it.
That's a sick little scene though. Velociraptor like spares this guy's life. It's kind of sick.
Or, like, the
I
water
also,
one shown on the beach.
it's so sick, so sick. I also
What were
like
you gonna
Brad
say?
Pitt. I like Brad
Yeah,
Pitt a lot.
Brad Pitt is convincing as 50s mean dad.
Yeah,
Who would have thought Brad
maybe
Pitt would play an abusive father, you know? Like, that's pretty crazy.
going into that, I thought it was gonna be the most distracting thing in the world, but he did it quite well. He melded into that very well.
Yeah,
Shout
when
out
he's got
Brad
his
Pitt.
glasses on, he's
He
playing
did.
the organ,
Yeah.
Yeah, sick as fuck.
and the
See, I'm
light
just
is just so
familiar.
good.
I'm just familiar with World War Z. Brad Pitt, and he's a
Brad
good
Pitt,
dad
long
there.
hair Brad Pitt.
I
He's
still
a good
haven't
dad
seen that.
there. So I wasn't sure if he could pull off bad dad. So that was a hurdle he got over. So
Good for you,
congratulations, Brad
Brad.
Pitt.
Come on the pod anytime you want.
Now that we got David on, I feel like Brad Pitt's the next like evolution naturally.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, we're one step closer, right? Why
Yeah,
not?
we're getting there.
How would he feel if instead of interviewing about any new movies, I just asked Tree of Life questions nonstop?
That would
Has
be
anybody
fine
ever
with me.
done that with
I How much do I
actors?
Let's hit
remember
that.
about Tree of Life is the real question. You
I've
No.
know?
summed up all I remember from that movie.
The
Dinosaurs and
dinosaur
Brad
and
Pitt.
Brad Pitt.
Do you remember
And
the vibes? Just
I
beautiful
I
light.
Beautiful Light looks great, and, there's one, like, shot in it that's pretty popular in, like, Doomer memes that I've seen a lot.
There's Doomer Tree of Life meme.
Yeah, yeah, there's just that
I'm
one
looking
shot on
this
the
up.
beach. There's just that one shot on the beach going towards the, like, girl,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I've seen that in Doomer memes a lot.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Beautiful shot.
That's a film that I think would hit hard on a rewatch,
Yeah, I liked it much better on a rewatch.
hopefully in a theater
Yeah, I think in a
with
theater
surround
where
sound.
you're really locked in.
Well,
I
the
locked my
school
phone
let
in the
us.
other room when we watched it, so that was smart of me.
Yeah,
I'm
Would have been too distracted.
but then Roger came in and tried to start cooking. We couldn't let
Yeah,
him do
that.
Oh, Roger.
Oh
Let's get into
man.
some roommate drama
Did
on
you
the pod.
have you paid that $25 yet?
Not yet. I was
They sent me
waiting
an
for the last
email.
moment.
They sent me an email being like, "We're locking you out of your Loop account
Damn.
if you don't pay." So
I think
that's
I'm
coming
just gonna have to
probably.
pay.
Yeah, I
Do I have to
paid.
pay
I
25?
buckled. No, it's just us because it's
Wow.
something so stupid.
Yeah.
Some dorm stuff.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's silly. Silly, silly. What was I gonna say?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, if
we
I
had to pay quite a bit of money this year for dorm related stuff.
Yeah, that's the second little payment.
Yeah.
really,
Yeah. We're just messy guys, me and David.
Hmm.
Can't keep a clean dorm.
Or
what's
keep the
going on, you
chairs in the
guys?
living room, apparently.
Yeah, after we leave, we have telekinetic powers to move them.
Well,
Crazy how that happened.
what do they want from you? They've been fucking flooding the place with carbon monoxide for how long? You know?
That's true. We've been going
Cheeky
crazy.
reference. Cheeky reference.
I hope there's still some
Anyways,
like hidden note somewhere in the building.
that would be
There
sick.
definitely is. There's definitely a whole bunch in my room because I did not do a super thorough job of getting rid of all of the sticky notes, and there was a lot in there.
For a good amount of sticky notes.
I think like behind my there's like the pin board or whatever. There's some that definitely slipped back there. I know there's a couple things that
Mm,
slipped back there that I didn't grab. So
damn.
whoever's in that dorm next year, check behind the
Those
pinboard,
those
and
are
you'll get something
legacy
fun.
items. I
They
think
are.
the Hereditary, or is it Midsummer? I think it's Hereditary. Sticky note up on my wall right now that Graham drew.
Mhm.
Pretty
Nice.
sick. A little souvenir. And I
Nice.
also
I
have
have
the
a. Go ahead.
Who's writing the notes carbon monoxide sticker too, which is pretty
Nice.
sick. Pretty
I
sick.
accidentally stole a sandbag from that production, so I have a sandbag in
Oh
my home.
Ooh,
shit!
Rick is
Saying that live
fuming.
on the air.
Rick is
I'd, I'd,
fuming. Yeah,
I'd cut that out if I ever used that.
I'll just bleep the word. Nobody will know what I took.
Better.
No, I'm not editing this. It's coming out raw.
We do it raw here on Critterpit. Raw or nothing at all. So
Do you
what's
want to
new
give
with you
yourself a?
guys though?
I was going to ask David to maybe give a bit of an introduction
Oh
to
yeah,
himself. He's the first time on the pod.
I
yeah. Let's
don't
hit
even know
that.
what to say. I am David Gordon. I like movies. I love old movies. I watch a lot of them. I
Great
like
Film
film
intro.
historian.
history. I don't know what else. Yeah, I'm interested in film history and just
You're
how
like
it's evolved over the years. I'll watch silent movies, black and white movies, whatever.
Yeah.
you're like the most knowledgeable person I've ever met on boring movies.
What?
I'm joking. I'm joking. They're good movies, but old movies. Yes,
Maybe.
old
A
black and
lot
I
of
like
white.
some of
old
these stuff
movies.
too.
They're pretty
Yeah,
A
like
lot
good.
of
Henry
old movies.
V, a
Yeah,
contemporary
Henry
film.
V.
It's only
Got out of
80
my
years
comfort zone
old.
for this one.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite movies, David?
My favorite movies. Well, number one, The Tree of Life.
That's crazy.
If it need to be said. Then like His Go Friday. Come on. If any
Okay.
of you have seen that,
I still
top
haven't
tier.
seen His Girl Friday. Like I gotta hit that.
His Girl Friday.
Sounds like you're googling it.
I am.
Don't get scared. It's black
Doing
and
some
white.
live research.
Oh God, 1940. You crazy? That's insane.
There was no good
It's got
movies made
Cary
before
Grant in it.
Star Wars. Ethan has that stance.
No.
Before Star Wars, The Phantom Menace, there was no good movies.
No, there's actually no good movies before Dune Part One.
Before
in
Dune
my
Part 1.
in my humble opinion.
What about After? It's
Yeah,
the
there's been
only good
some good
movie.
ones. Yeah, there's been some okay
Dune Part
ones.
2. Dune Part 2.
Dune Part Two. Yeah, just just Dune and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. That's it.
I don't know. I don't know about that one.
I know about that one.
I do wonder how much Shakespeare do you guys know? Like, what
Oh, so little, so
Watching this
little.
movie made me realize that I hadn't like watched any Shakespeare content since like high school.
yeah.
That was 5 years ago, so it's been a
Other
while.
than like 10 Things I Hate About You, if
Yeah,
that
but
counts.
it's not in the iambic pentameter
Yeah.
or yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same speech pattern.
Yeah,
I
you don't have to
struggle.
like lock in. Be like, what's going on? What are the
I
important
struggle.
things they're saying?
I struggle with Shakespeare quite a bit. But Shakespeare is sick. Like we did Hamlet in high school and Othello. Those are some dope plays once you like have to sit down and be forced to, appreciate it. They're pretty dope.
Remember in high
But
school we read Romeo and Juliet, and after every page, the teacher would have to summarize, so it wasn't really
Every
yeah,
a good
page.
vibe. Yeah.
yeah.
That's crazy.
But sometimes it's beautiful. Sometimes it hits
Mhm.
just right.
Yeah. There were a couple great lines in this one too.
Yeah.
Um,
Once
what's your
more
favorite
unto the
Shakespeare?
breach.
What do you have a favorite Shakespeare play?
I have not seen enough to have a favorite.
Okay.
I'm also like, I don't know very much about Shakespeare at all.
I like Hamlet.
Yeah.
Hamlet's dope. I wrote a good paper on Hamlet in high school. One of my best.
You should
After
read it
I was
on
in,
the air.
I wish I had it. It was during one of those CRTs, I think they were called, where you just had to like sit down and write it, and then they sent it away.
Mm.
Never saw it again. I hated doing that so much. Just having to like sit there and write a topic 3 hours. You get no preparation beforehand. It was so
Yeah.
Yeah.
nerve wracking.
And
Oh
that's
my
so
god.
not the way that I write papers too. Like
Yeah.
I can't just like sit down and write a paper from start to end. I like go back and I'm
I
constantly rewriting. I'll write my
Yeah.
conclusion like second. Like
I'm
I need
I'm the
time to
I
exact
pace.
opposite, man. I
yeah.
like I will enter into a fugue state sometimes and I just write and I go. And
I
I
don't
don't
know.
even look back. I don't even reread it. And that's what I did for that one in high school. And I'm like, that was probably the worst thing I ever read in my life. I didn't even like I skipped every class where we were going over the play. I only watched the Kenneth Branagh film, but like
Nice.
Mm,
got fucking 90 on that. So that was sick.
Hell
Like
yeah.
work, baby. Like work.
It's because you were able to interpret the text without any kind of,
It's just because
other.
Kenneth Branagh is the greatest filmmaker ever, probably. Dude made Thor and
Yeah.
Artemis Fowl,
he's a diverse
and
Artemis
filmmaker.
Fowl.
oh,
Is he a
he's made a
diverse
Henry.
filmmaker?
He's made a
Well,
Henry V. Did you know that? I just found that out.
I found that
It
out
doesn't
too.
surprise me.
It actually gets really good reviews too.
Hmm.
I think all his Shakespeare does pretty well. Like I watched his Othello in high school. It's pretty good. Pretty good. It's probably the first like Shakespeare thing that I felt I understood what was going on the whole way
Mm,
through.
Hamlet's pretty good. Yeah, I'm
I've only
thinking
seen The
about Ham.
Lion King. I haven't seen Hamlet.
I just watched Lion King for the first time the other day, but I like the one line in Hamlet. Methinks the lady doth protest too much. It's a
yeah.
pretty iconic
Yeah.
My
line.
mom quotes that one.
Yeah, yeah. I love the word methinks. I say that a lot. Methinks.
Meetinks.
It's a Shakespeare classic.
Artemis Fowl. Y'all fans of Artemis Fowl?
Didn't
I did
watch,
watch Artemis
sorry.
Fowl. It was terrible. I didn't like it at all. Are you a big fan?
Never saw it. Never saw it. His Thor might be my favorite Thor though. I'm not gonna lie. I know that's a crazy take, but like I just find that movie
Waititi
so
and
funny.
Shambles.
Yeah, I don't know. Those movies I find so kind of irritating.
Did you believe that before the newer Thor? Like, did you think that when you first saw Ragnarok?
Ah,
I, I feel like the whole
maybe.
consensus has shifted on him.
Yeah,
I don't hate
that's
Taika
true.
Waititi. Don't get me wrong. I'm not one of those people who like throw the whole director out because he made a bad Marvel movie. That's a crazy take. I think Hunt for the Wilder People is so fucking good. Such
Yeah,
a good movie.
Jojo
Yeah,
Rabbit's
good
great as
guess.
well.
Have you guys seen Boy from 2010? That movie's
Not yet.
so
I've seen the
sweet.
short, but not the feature.
I just think like Taika's humor, the way it melds into Marvel is such a ugh. I don't know. Does not hit for me. Not my thing.
Yeah, I love What We Do in the Shadows too. That was my intro
Oh
to Taika.
yeah.
Such a fun
Oh
movie.
yeah. And Jojo Rabbit's pretty fun too. I just
You think
think he has
Nazi youth are fun? Whoa,
um y- yeah.
well
He had a
that's
Respect for
movie
different.
doubling down.
he had a movie in 2023.
Yeah, I heard it was not that good.
Heard no one talk about this. Hmm.
Yeah, I heard it wasn't good and then forgot about it.
Throw it on the watch list.
Never to be watched. It's the Marvel curse, right? Like you can't make a good movie after you've made a Marvel movie. It's just the law.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about that untitled Taika Waititi Star Wars film, though?
That's never gonna come out.
Here's
There's
hoping.
no way. You know,
Just
I was
hoping it doesn't
excited
come out.
about a Taika Waititi project that recently got canceled. He was gonna make a stop motion movie about Michael Jackson's ape or like
Okay.
chimpanzee, and
What?
I was like, that sounds pretty awesome to me. And then, of course, nobody wants to watch a movie about Michael Jackson's chimpanzee anymore,
Yeah,
which is
there's no
unfortunate.
way.
I wish, though.
I know.
I got some Taika Waititi news. So we recently reviewed a film, The Time Bandits, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
And Taika Waititi is slated to do the Time Bandits remake or whatever.
that's cool. That
An F- an
makes enough
FX
sense
series.
to me.
It's an FX series,
Is it gonna be with
right?
little people again, or is it?
No, it's not going to be little
Oh,
people to avoid controversy, allegedly.
to avoid controversy.
I don't know how it's controversial though, because like I feel
They
like we
exist.
established that film was not mean spirited towards little people. It was actually pretty
Yeah, me, you, and Jake. We're the people to say whether or not something was offensive to a certain group, and and we
true.
said it wasn't.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's a fair point. We don't really have the credentials, but like
But I do believe that it was well intended. I don't
I just think it's a coward's move. It's a coward's
know.
move. And also, Terry, I heard there was some drama, some controversy. Terry Gilliam visited the set, and he was supposed to be there for like few weeks, right, to oversee it, and he left only after a few days. So,
He
I'm
stayed a few
surprised you stayed
days.
that long.
Yeah,
and I've heard it's pretty messy. So, there's
I
your
don't
time
think
bandits update.
I don't think Terry Gilliam would like any kind of remake of any of his movies. So
But the money that it brings,
Bring back the
maybe,
he'll accept that.
maybe.
So yeah,
I've, I've been thinking about Henry V though. What do you
Henry
guys
the
think
Fifth.
about its framing of like the play within the movie and then it becomes a movie?
It's like my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah, I liked that quite a bit as well.
I think
Okay,
it's definitely
let's
the most memorable part.
let's in So Henry V, 1944 adaptation of the Shakespeare play, directed by Lawrence Oliver.
Starring Lawrence Oliver.
Yeah, and it's a Shakespeare adaptation. It was made amidst the Second World War. Definitely has some
Yep.
political context to it. I don't know if you guys read into that at all, but it's definitely prevalent there. And yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah, so
Uh,
like we were saying, it's set or it starts as being set within like a play. It slowly
Mhm.
transitions to like a full epic movie, which is a very
I,
interesting choice.
I think it's also a really like effective choice because the guy introduces the play saying, we are not perfect, but your imagination will make it perfect.
Mm,
Hmm.
And then it's like Laurence Olivier is saying, with movies, I can show you my imagination. We can make it perfect. It felt like a pretty bold thing to do for a theater actor, which I think is where he's from.
yeah. I love that personally. Basically being like, fuck plays, movies better,
Yeah.
film
Yeah.
supremacy.
Yeah.
But I thought that was a really interesting choice, just the framing narrative. And going into this, I was pretty trepidatious. First
Mhm.
time Shakespeare watch. I knew it was going to be pretty kind of a slog, just to get through that Piantic Amber or whatever it's called. Um,
Yeah.
but that framing device gave me a lot of hope for the film, and I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. It's an interesting choice, and I like the layers it sets up, and I like the insight you get because it's not like a modern play either. It's like set in the 1600s when
Yeah.
In
Shakespeare
the
would have written
Globe.
this. Yeah, in the Globe
Yeah.
Theater, and it's like pays attention to realism and whatnot with how they present that too. It's pretty cool,
Hmm.
pretty nifty.
I like at the beginning they have boys playing girls, and you see that in the
Yeah,
backstage,
yeah,
and then later you get
Yeah,
actual
I
right.
women.
love that.
I also love at
Yeah.
the beginning when several of the actors like don't know their lines and they're like bumbling around
Oh my god,
trying to find
that
the
was
right
so
page
much
on the
fun.
script. That was great.
Yeah, I almost
Because
wish
how
we
could you
got
memorize all that Shakespeare, right? That's too much.
I almost wish we got more of the play bit because that was the some of the bits I was enjoying the most. There's some really cool shots with going between the backstage and the
Hmm.
Yeah.
front stage. I wish they played with that more during maybe some of the slower moments of the story. I don't
For
know.
the 40s, like, the crane shots were really
Oh
impressive.
yeah, like the camera was so fluid in this. It was so dope.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a
There's
really
one
cool
sh
shot. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, you can go.
I was just gonna say, there's one shot where everybody is, it's just in the introductory part, and the camera's sort of going around the audience, and the people on the second floor, one of them drops a napkin, and then someone catches it in the lower floor, and that's how they motivate the cut. And I thought
Yeah.
that
Oh
was a
yeah.
kind of interesting way to sort of bring it around as you sort of move through all the people.
Yeah. Yeah, the shot I really liked was in the beginning too, where they had it was going through the backstage, and you're just watching them all get together and put themselves together and get ready for their scene, and they walk out, and you see the play through the door frame,
Mm,
and you see
Hmm.
the audience too in the shot, and it's like going between the backstage and the stage. It was really cool framing and levels, and just for a story within a story is cool framing.
yeah.
Yeah. And I
Quite
also
enjoyed
think
that.
that like the framing device of setting it like you're watching a play at the beginning, especially, it helps with your like suspension of disbelief because there's so many
Mhm.
like matte paintings and miniatures in this movie,
Oh
and
yeah.
I think
Oh yeah.
Mm,
when you're watching and you're like, oh, I'm just watching a play, right? Like it didn't bother me as much as maybe it would in like if this was in like a Stanley Kubrick movie or something, right? Where
Mhm.
you're like, oh, that's just a mat, but because it's a play, you're like, oh, because it would just be a mat, right? Like it makes
It
sense.
felt less like defects of aging and more like, um
Unintentional choice, right? Like,
yeah, yeah, part of the form of the film,
yeah,
right? It's cool.
yeah.
And I love the
going,
miniature at the start. Oh my god, sorry. The
yeah.
mi so
Yeah.
cool. That was awesome.
Even the
That
shot
was
they
dope.
have of the miniatures is like we wouldn't be able to do this until we got helicopters and drones. So it's kind of cool
No.
that
Mhm.
that's the same sort of shot we'd be doing now, just completely differently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Made me wanna do some stuff with miniatures. I don't
Yeah.
know. It was real cool.
I mean,
Um
doesn't look perfect, that
oh, no,
opening
you can
miniature shot. You can
tell
tell it's miniatures,
and you can
but,
see where the map
it's cool.
begins and the
Oh,
miniatures
yeah.
start,
Yeah.
but it's cool as fuck, and it's so charming. I don't know. I find with just more practical effects compared to, like, special effects of today, like, the mind just wanders and wonders how they made that or how long it took, and it increases my personal engagement in films, right? My
Even
mind
when they're
doesn't
not
just
perfect.
yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. My mind doesn't gloss over like it would with other special effects. I don't know. Practical is just very cool.
You notice the artistry more, right? Like,
Yeah, it's
it's
more tangible.
yeah.
Cool. That's why I love Cronenberg, but don't even get me started.
Snow
I also
Malick.
love oh, goodness gracious. Goodness gracious.
But go ahead.
Um, you just derailed my whole train of thought with that. No, we're back. The rain. I also love the bit with the rain. That was pretty
Mhm.
sick. That was so charming. And that's why I wish we got more of like um the the play framework in the film because personally I cannot understand Shakespeare very well on a first watch through. Like I need to be like acquainted with the story a little
Yeah, I
bit. And
regret not
and that
looking up
was
the plot
that
beforehand.
was my mistake. I thought I was just gonna be so locked in, right, that I was gonna get through it and have a nuanced understanding of the plot of Henry V.
Yeah,
But
I watched with subtitles, and it definitely helped.
Me too. I also watched with
I
subtitles.
should have hit subtitles. Fuck. Because I was lost. And maybe that's why I enjoyed the play framework more than like the actual story, the actual Shakespeare. And I feel like
Mm.
that's something on a rewatch when I'm more like acquainted and more prepared for it. I'll find myself enjoying the more Shakespearean elements of it more.
I
Probably.
Yeah.
felt lost at the beginning, but once it got going, like the battle scenes and like the night before the battle. I really
Yeah,
like those scenes.
Oh yeah,
me
when
too.
he's
I agree with the beginning being confusing, and I actually feel like I forget his name, or the director of this movie was kind of being intentional with that. Like when they're explaining why England is getting into this conflict, that's when
Yeah.
like that guy's coming. He's like bumbling over everything. He doesn't necessarily seem to understand even what he's saying. And so I feel like he was like, it doesn't matter. Like England's about to fight with France. That's the important part
mhm,
of this plot, right?
yeah,
I
We'll
some
just
I've
get
point.
to
been
that.
I've been thinking about that, and I feel like there was a point to all those beginning parts where they give him all these reasons to fight the war. Like in the first scene, there's the church people and they're talking about there's a bill coming and they want to avoid it. So they'll tell the king that it's noble for him to stop France from letting a woman succeed the throne or something like that. And
Hmm.
then like France gives him the tennis balls as a gift, and so then
Yeah,
he
I
gets all
love
high
that
and
bit.
mighty and he gets pissed off.
They're mocking him. They're mocking
yeah,
him.
I like that.
But
That
none
was
of
one of the
those are
few
good
bits.
reasons to go to war.
No,
No, not at all.
I mean, I might go to war if
And they're
Muggle
like,
delivered us some
Your
tennis
grandpa
balls."
went to war. Your uncle would have gone to war. You should go to war too."
Yeah. And he has like all these great speeches and everything.
Oh yeah,
But
once more onto the breach.
Yes.
yeah, what is it really for? When you think about it, those church people at the beginning, they won. They got their bill waived. They didn't have to think about that. Henry didn't even know what he was doing.
Just a pawn.
And then he got
Yep.
married to the very woman they were trying to avoid ruling.
Yeah. I don't know that she
Man,
necessarily wanted to get married to him, but he certainly married her.
mm, man, that is actually all very compelling stuff. I should study Shakespeare, I guess. This guy's an okay writer, it turns out.
Maybe.
He's got some good stuff.
Maybe.
Good stuff.
um, I think this film looks like pretty amazing. Like we've mentioned the all the little technical hang ups with all the like miniatures and mats, but like I think that adds to the charm and all the
Mhm.
sets and the costuming look amazing. And the Technicolor, oh, really does
Yeah.
pop in this one.
Hmm.
So many
Yeah.
Yeah.
colors, so colorful. This was shot, did you know, with like the only Technicolor camera in Britain at the time. So
I
that's
don't
a fun
know.
Wow.
fact.
All the rest of them were off to war.
Yeah.
Mhm. I also like how they like the transitionary moment from the stage where like there's the curtains in the back that are sort of painted to look like wherever they
Oh
are.
yeah.
And then it turns
Hmm.
into like a veil, and then the matte paintings are beyond the veil, and then it like dissolves through the veil.
That was so seamless.
Yeah,
That
it was
looked
very cool.
great. Oh, yeah, and I love the narrator throughout talking about like just suspending the disbelief and using your imagination. It was
Mm,
fucking really cool. Get me really into it. And then go into the and just the contrast with the like proper sets from just the stage play. Like even though the sets may not be perfect by today's standards, just being like in that stage play for like half an hour, however long it is,
Hmm.
the contrast really does pop.
Well, and
yeah,
yes, the contrast pops, especially by the end when they're like in this epic battle with like horses
Yeah,
and all these men and tents. Right? It's the scale
yeah,
becomes huge.
I love the
Um,
battle. It's a little janky at points, but pretty fun.
it is what battle would have been. You know, why not? It's fine.
Yeah,
I'll buy it.
I buy it.
I also like the scene where Henry V sort of goes undercover at night before the battle,
Oh
and he
yeah.
goes around the fire. And
Hmm.
it's I don't know if you guys have taken like one of Dan's classes where he talks about the dark night of the soul sort of thing,
No,
but
I have never heard that.
Oh yeah.
it's like the moment in the story where like you're really coming to grips with yourself, and it's really literal in this movie. And he's just
Hmm.
like, why am I actually fighting this war? And there's these guys around the fire who's basically like, yeah, it's not our problem, the king, it's all his responsibility. And he's
Yeah.
like, oh
Oh,
crap.
That scene was awesome, man. That was definitely the bit I was most engaged in the, outside the stage play bits. The lighting
Mm,
there and the Shakespearean dialogue was really hidden.
Mhm.
I just love a good quiet scene before the big battle. Scenes always
yeah,
hit. So reflective too. Love it.
Definitely.
It's like
And then,
the one scene in Hamlet, with the skull, I think.
yes,
I don't know
the
Hamlet
classic.
enough.
That's the classic scene, right? The to be or
The
not to be.
classic.
I thought that was
Poor Uruk, I knew him well. Isn't he holding the skull then?
Yeah.
I haven't seen Hamlet either,
uh,
so I don't know.
That
I've been
is
to the Hamlet Castle though.
the Hamlet Castle?
Yeah, like
These are
where it allegedly takes place.
that's
It's a
pretty
real
sick.
thing? Where's that at?
In Denmark somewhere.
You've been
I
to
don't
Denmark?
remember. I have. I went with my
Damn.
mom's choir tour.
Yo,
I've actually been to the Globe Theater as well, or I
Damn.
think it was
yo,
rebuilt, but so I was able
uh,
to sort through the miniatures and be like, "Oh, that's the
Yeah.
Globe."
That's supposed to be the globe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
you go to the
How
castle and
does
you're like, wow,
it
I haven't seen Hamlet.
Yeah, where's Hamlet?
how did the globe, compare in reality to the set here? Are they
It's
similar
pretty
looking?
good. I mean, yeah, pretty similar. It's like a circle building, right? I think it's
With the
just smaller in the movie.
Why would they build a playhouse with a hole in the ceiling?
We can rain on the poors, drive up ticket prices for the other better seats.
Exactly, yeah.
That's brilliant. That's
The
genius,
stage has
actually.
a bit of a roof. It's just
Yeah,
the crowd that's gonna
the
get rained on.
pours. Fuck them.
Fuck 'em, dude.
Man, did you meet Lars von Trier while you're down in Denmark? Is that why
Yeah,
you
yeah.
really
I was
went?
I was in his movie. That was why I really went.
No way.
Oh shit, dude.
In his upcoming film.
Is
Was
he
it a
as
happy shoot?
Yeah, is he as dope as
I
I've
thought it
heard
was
he
great.
is?
I thought it was great.
Is he as dope and personable and charming as everyone says?
Yeah, yeah, no. We had some great talks, me and Lars.
Were you like,
We
damn,
just
why do people
complained
say
about God, why can't I get laid anymore? What's going
you're
on?
like you're like people say don't meet your heroes? Lars, you just disproved that. This is epic.
Yeah. This is epic. I was 13.
This is Hey, that's like his
Already
entire
a Lars head.
demographic. It's probably most his demographic.
You
Probably.
think?
Edgy
If I
13
met
year
a
old?
13-year-old who was big into
Edgy
Lars von
14-year
Trier,
old?
I'd be worried.
A little bit.
I feel like he
You're either the
definitely has
coolest
like
person in the world or you're like insane.
Yeah.
And you're
feel
probably
like
insane.
you're on 4chan forums for way too much if you're
Mm.
into Lars von Trier at 14.
No, you know what? That's a lie. I actually think whenever like the Nymphomaniac movies came out, those like trailers, I didn't know it was a Lars movie or really what the movie was, but just like those trailers en- captivated me. Let's just say.
I think
I
that's
mean,
different from being a
Yeah,
fan.
it's not for being a
you're a
Lars
Lars
movie.
head, man.
You're like, the cinematography.
Yeah,
Damn,
exactly.
Sam was a Lars
Hmm.
head young. You heard it here
Did I
first.
watch those movies? No, but that
Have
those
you still
trailers
not
for
seen
sure.
Nymphomaniac Part 1 and
No,
2
I've
I
seen
still?
a
Are
haven't.
you
video.
crazy? Are you crazy, guys?
I've
Yeah, I
seen
wasn't there
Dogville.
that night. Yeah,
They're not very
Dogville.
good. Dogville's pretty good.
I like Dogville. Very
Breaking the
theatrical.
Waves. Breaking the Waves is pretty good. And fucking
Yeah,
Dancer in the Dark's a masterpiece.
I still gotta watch that. Have you seen
Yeah, that one's on
Melancholia?
my list.
Yeah, Melancholia is pretty good. It's just so hard to like say this is genius when it's the most blunt metaphor ever. Like it's executed well, but it's the most blunt shit ever.
It might
Feels
be
like
my
a
favorite by him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, Ethan just roasted it.
It's just I don't know. For me, it, I don't know. It feels like Lars force feeding me a steak. It's like a good steak, but don't
it
enjoy
tastes
how
like
I'm eating
ashes.
this.
what's
Yeah.
the what's the quote from the movie?
Yeah. Oh, looks sick though. Oh my god, the visuals in that film are insane. And
I
I
don't
love
go
the
to
whole
Lars for
like
subtlety. But
hmm?
you go ahead. I was just gonna say I don't go to Lars for subtlety. You're talking about it's really
That's
blunt.
That's
true.
true. Yeah, he's pretty
That's
blunt.
true. I don't know. I
What
don't
were
know
you
what
gonna
I go to
say?
Lars for. I
Some
just really enjoy
swick.
the wedding. The wedding in that film, that first half
Yeah.
of it. It's so entertaining. Oh, so
Have you
uncomfortable.
seen every Lars movie, Ethan? I know you went on a
I have.
Lars binge.
I
Yeah, you have.
have.
What a sad binge.
That's crazy.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I just get like so hooked on these interesting characters, and I must discover who they are through their filmography. And
It's
sometimes
interesting.
it results in like pretty much revolt of them as a person and disgust, as it did
Mm,
with Lars.
yeah,
Respect, of course, for some of his great films. Um, but for others like Cronenberg, lifelong devotion.
Yeah.
I might hit a Malik binge. Who knows?
you should.
I actually,
I
fuck.
feel
I
like
want
a
to hit the
Malik
Peck and
binge would be
Paw.
sad as well. That would
I want to
be
hit the
No,
Peck
it would
and
be
Paw
life
binge,
affirming.
dude. Peck and Paw binge,
I don't know if
because
I've
that'd be
seen
good.
one Peck and Paw movie.
he is a fucking
They're not
crazy
old enough for you.
character.
No, they're getting there.
They're in color.
They're close.
Oh,
Yeah.
Give it 10 years.
Yeah.
he is such an interesting character. Reading about fucking his history. I watched Ride in Cell Block 11, which is like one of the first movies he worked on as a dialect coach or something. It's
Mm.
interesting. So I might hit Peck and Paw's filmography. It's
Watching
I
good.
that
don't
one.
really go on like director binges, but I've been going on some like franchise benders lately, like Planet
Oh
of the
yeah.
Apes, and then I just did all
Mm,
the Chucky movies. Those
How's
movies are
that?
they get better progressively, I think.
Okay.
Um, I don't like love any of them until number 5. I think
Mhm.
Chucky 5 is like great. The Seed of Chucky. It becomes like a Glenn or Glendula or Glenn or Glenda homage, which is uh
insane.
insane. Yeah. Um, and I thought that was really crazy. And John Waters is in it as well. He plays like a
Oh my
paparazzo.
god. I love
Yeah.
John Waters.
I saw you say
Ah,
that there was one with too many split diopter shots, which, coming
Yeah.
from you,
I know.
really,
It's like
Sam?
there's a point in that movie where it's every other shot is a split diopter. And like I was reading in an
Sounds
interview
sick.
with the director of those movies and he's really into De Palma and you're like, "Oh yeah, that explains everything."
yeah, that does.
A little
Hmm.
too into De Palma if you
Oh
ask me.
fuck. I gotta hit De Palma binge too. I love
Can't
De
watch them
Palma.
all.
Can't watch them all?
Not if you don't start real soon.
Does he have a lot?
Well, I mean, all these bitches you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's
Man.
young. There's
Too
still
many
time.
movies. Scarface is sick. Carrie is sick. Blood is so sick. Yeah. Gotta hit some of these.
You mean Scarface 1932, right? With Howard Hawks binge?
Classic David comment. Classic. No, I haven't seen that one. Is it any good? Oh,
Yeah, it's pretty
David's
good.
reviewed it. It's crazy.
No way.
Um, that does look fun. I do enjoy old Howard Hawks. I've not seen anything by
You fool.
him. Is he goaded?
Yeah.
Okay. What should I hit? First Howard Hawks. Should I
His
hit
Go Friday.
His Girl
Right
Friday?
away.
Number 2
Heard
movie of
that.
all time.
Yeah, it's
Gentlemen
official.
Prefer Blondes.
That's also a banger.
Rio Bravo. Is that a banger? John
Tarantino
Wayne
thinks
Western?
it's like the best movie ever.
Well, if Tarantino thinks it's the
Yeah.
best ever. Bringing a Baby. That one should be fun. Does the big cat feature prominently in that one?
Yeah.
I'm
The
I'm
the big cat? Is there a big cat on the poster?
it's like a
Baby
boat.
is not actually a baby. It's a leopard named Baby.
Whoa,
I'm not
that's
gonna lie.
awesome.
I have a slight phobia of big cats, so that might be a traumatizing film for me.
More or less of a phobia than of chimpanzees.
Fuck, that's a tough one. Might be more just because living in Alberta, it's more like immediate, right? Mountain lions.
Yeah,
I do
mountain
a
lions. What about like a
do a
lynx?
decent. They they're big. I don't know. It's just having house cats. They get deadly when they hunt, man.
Yeah.
And it's just you scale that up, and I'm fucking done so much reading on mountain lions, and they're so terrifying. Ugh, big cats are scary, guys. But chimps are scary as hell too. Me and
We
Graham
just
are
watched
cooking up.
Planet of the Apes.
We
Yeah, and
did.
they're so
We did a
scary.
4-hour retrospective on the Planet of the Apes movies.
Yeah, that was pretty sick. I think our magnum opus.
Probably the best Critterpit episode ever.
Yeah.
I'll
We
have to
only
watch
talk
it.
about Planet of the Apes in those movies too. Like, or in that episode. That's like the
Yeah.
only episode we're on topic the entire time. And it's our longest episode.
And this one too.
Yeah.
We've been on topic.
I don't know. I also forgot my notes at work. I watched this movie at work. So I
Oh,
don't have a whole lot to say.
that's epic.
Yeah.
I have my notes in front of me, and I still don't have a whole lot to say. What else can I say? Um, yeah, beautiful panning shots. Such a fluid camera. I loved that. It was awesome.
Mhm.
The dialogue when I could lock in was like really lovely, as I
Mhm.
mentioned, especially around that campfire. Um, it was cool how like they were wearing so much makeup in the Globe Theater, like so much makeup,
Yeah.
because that's how theater is. You gotta
Yep.
dress
Cake up.
yourself up for the faraway audiences. Um, the line mix-ups were fun. Uh,
I like the hat mix up as well. That was pretty fun. That was funny.
oh, the fucking shot of the narrator in the fog, cross
Oh
dissolving
yeah.
over the shot of the
That was
Yeah.
fucking
crazy.
the fleets coming for him, coming to France. That was sick as fuck. That was cinema. That was badass.
This movie kind of
Yeah,
feels like Laurence Olivier going, you know what? Screw theater. Movies are great.
Yeah.
it
Which
it
was
does.
that was a hot take in the 40s.
I mean,
Yeah.
Glenn
People
would
weren't sure
probably.
if it was an art.
You think Glenn would rock with the thesis of this film?
No.
Definitely. You don't think Glenn would like this movie?
I have no idea. I think he'd hate the acting.
Well, like
Okay.
Glenn hates theater in film, but that doesn't necessarily mean he hates theater, does it?
No, but
Well, no, I
there's
don't know
so
that he
much theater in
hates.
this film.
I don't know that he hates theater and film. He hates theatrical films.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I
yeah.
mean.
So maybe.
But
But
like,
this
does
movie
he
makes such a
hate?
point of doing it purposefully. Like it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
ingrained in the movie.
Fuck, we should have gotten Glenn on this app.
That would have been sick, actually.
Ethan
We're
really wants to
planning.
get Glenn on an app.
Yeah,
And
I
it seems
want to
like
get
so
Glenn on
intense
the
to
map.
me.
Sam,
That
I'm
would be
telling you
intense.
now.
I feel like we could
First,
argue with him.
Could you imagine
first
being in a
few
small
weeks.
room with Glenn? Like,
No, we don't talk about a film even because I feel like that'd be too intense to line up. I just want to do a Glenn interview. I feel like if we
yeah.
interviewed him, he would be so like, oh, they're interviewing me. That like
Yeah.
we could do it. It would be
We
chill.
just have to come so prepared. That's the thing. I've never come
Yeah,
super prepared to any of these
I
podcasts.
think we can hit it, Sam. I say we push ourselves.
Yeah. We can ask.
We did Kathy.
David, you want to
Like
come
that was
on?
a
That can be part of your
Yes,
fourth
for
year.
sure.
yeah. The more buffer, the better. I'd also love to get Rick on, but I don't know.
For one movie.
I don't know. Maybe just an interview, but like I don't know what we'd get out of that. I love
I don't
Rick
know
though.
either.
I just want to
It-
capture the magic of the Kathy up again because that was so good.
Yeah.
Kathy
I
is
listened to that. It
the
was
perfect
great.
prof for it.
That was
I
such a
th-
good app, bro. That's
are
probably
you
our
gonna
best app. What are we talking about?
yeah. Are you gonna be in film genre with Trish next year, Ethan?
Is that first semester?
I think it's second semester, but
Oh yeah, then I will be.
because we
Is
should
she,
get
do,
Trish on the pod as well.
I
is
was
she
gonna
doing
say
noir?
I don't
Do
know
you
if
know?
she's doing noir. I don't know if they said what the genre was yet.
Mm,
Trish is my homie. She is the one who nominated me for my Agora win.
Agora.
So that
yeah.
was sick. Me and David are Agora brothers. That was like
We
the
are.
first
Yeah.
conversation we had.
That and
With
about
Agora.
Cronenberg.
Yeah, I'm a pretty one note person.
You're winning me
When we
over,
talk about
though.
Hmm.
You're winning me over on Cronenberg. He's moving up the
Oh,
ranking. The Davids.
hey,
he
and
was
I
like
think
second
now like
last for a while, right? Just below David
and
Ayer.
and that's Oh, that's fucking bullshit, dude. That's actually a piss off.
He was above
That's a
David Gordon Greene.
that's my
That's
reaction to
David
that.
Lynch.
David Ayer sucks ass, dude. Come on.
Ah,
David Ayer? More like David Aryan.
He made
Got
the
him.
end of Watch.
That movie's not
and he
great
made The
though.
Beekeeper.
I haven't seen
And he
that.
made Bright, I
Is
think.
And
that not a masterpiece?
Well, yeah, but
Another Landis written film?
I love Max Landis. Everybody loves Max Landis.
was Max Landis the child killer or the rapist?
No, Max Landis' dad is the child killer. Max Landis is the other one.
Bad script
Okay,
seller.
Bad
dope.
script seller and also sexual deviant.
Damn.
He does sell those scripts though.
Has he sold a script recently? Has there been any Max Landis movies
I don't
that have
know.
Max
come out? He had
Landis.
quite the run.
When are we getting him on the pod?
We probably could. I think if we tweeted at him, he would come. I
I
think he
don't.
loves all attention.
He'd promote
I
his
don't
new
think
book
we
on it or
want.
whatever.
Oh, he has a weird looking face. Scary looking guy. Hero Chronicle
Yeah,
and Victor
and
Frankenstein
American Ultra,
and The Death and Return of Superman.
a short
Okay.
film.
Shout out.
Well,
Hmm.
shout out Max Landis. Come on the pod. This is an official invitation.
No, 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 no. Max Landis is not invited on the pod. Is his dad alive though? I wouldn't mind getting
Yeah,
him
he
on.
is John Landis.
I would love to get him on and the whole time
And
just be
not
making
talk
like
about the child killer.
yeah, no, but make like little references like
Just
to
start talking
child
about
killing.
helicopters.
Yeah,
And
like, oh, fucking Kobe Bryant's death was so tragic, wasn't it, John? What do you think of that?
It's
what do you
good
think
there were
of
no
that?
children on board though,
Yeah.
right?
You
But
know, the only thing
never
that would be
mentioned.
worse than dying that way, maybe like if they had been outside the helicopter, like if something had happened there, man, that would have been terrible.
Be like, so John, what do you think of Twilight? The
You
young
know, it'd be a
adult
great introduction
series.
for John Landis too. It'd be, I would, I would intro him as the man who brought like child actor uh, laws
Right.
to the
Yeah.
forefront. The man who made sure that child actors had rights.
God bless him, man. God bless. Has he made any Kino though? Oh, okay. An American Werewolf in London's Kino. Blues Brothers is Kino.
Yeah.
So
Beverly Hills Cop 3 is not
I
Kino.
might, yeah, I might be supporting him.
No, you can be a Landis stan.
No,
He
I'm
made
joking.
so
He
much
sucks
after
ass.
the Twilight Zone.
That
Wow.
dude killed two children. A couple. Was it two children?
I think it was two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. Never faced any justice for it either. Two children and like a famous actor too, right?
Yep.
Who was it?
Vic Morrow.
Um, Vic Morrow. Damn. So this is an anti-Landis pod. We're saying it
Yeah, we don't
now.
like any
Mm.
Landis.
Any of them. I've heard the Mudhole loves the Landises though.
I heard they're doing a Landis spin-off show
They're doing a Landis retrospective with father and son.
with both.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So just keep that in mind when the war
All you
comes to
Landis
the
heads out
forefront.
there.
All you mud boys, keep that in mind.
Where your allegiance stands.
I don't know if David knows the lore, but Mudhole is our rival podcast made by
I don't know the
traitor
lore.
Graham.
Graham is a rival podcast.
He does.
Yeah,
I think he's been on our podcast probably like 6 times more than the Mudhole, but
he's
who's to
been on
say?
more episodes than they have episodes out or even recorded.
Oh, for
So,
sure. At least
boom,
double, I think. He's been on a
boom.
lot of our episodes.
Does he also do like Criterion movies or what's his thing?
Their shtick is just any movies. They pick like two movies that are really different but have
Some
like
kind of link.
some sort of similarity.
Hmm.
It's interesting. Ask them how they got their name. That's
It's
a
a
fun
great
story.
story.
It's a great story.
This makes me not want to ask them how they got their name. Mud hole.
All I'm saying is Mudhole started a war with us. They're gonna drop a diss track on us soon, so we gotta be
Yep.
Better start
prepared.
writing.
Oh, we've
Oh,
been in the studio. We're ready.
yeah.
Good.
You know, I'm taking this serious, Sam. I'm getting Caleb to make a
Oh
beat
yeah.
for us.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. Caleb's making a beat for us, so they're
Well, when you're in
pumped.
town, we'll do
I
some
think
recording.
it'd be so fun to get like a bunch of the guests on the diss track too. Just go all out. To get
David, you
Kathy
want to
on the
record
diss.
your verse right now?
Yeah,
Maybe not right now.
yeah. Free ball some bars,
Freestyle. No.
David.
Didn't Graham make the theme from Piers though? I don't know. That's pretty
That's
good.
true.
Ooh,
Did he make that,
yeah.
or was that did
That
he
was Eric
contract it out?
Loken. That was
Okay.
Eric Loken, the guy who made the 315 soundtrack too. So, but I think they're getting him to do the diss track to help out. So,
Oh no,
Mm,
yeah,
we're dead. We're dead.
yeah. No, no, no. We're gonna get Kathy on the diss track. We're gonna be okay. We
Oh
just
man,
need Kathy, and we'll be okay.
we can't go against Kathy.
They can't go against
the most
Kathy.
academic diss ever.
Exactly.
No, we get Glenn on the diss track. Oh my
Just yell
god,
at them for an hour.
yeah,
That's
that
the
would
diss
sick.
track.
Just make them feel bad about themselves.
Make them regret coming to RDP at all. Maybe even being in
Yeah,
film at all.
yeah. Make them drop out and go do ranch work for the rest of their lives.
Make them lean left.
uh, anyways, did you guys know Henry V is war propaganda?
I think I
I don't believe
glanced
it.
at that in a letterbox review.
It is war propaganda. It was made in part as a morale boost for the British people.
It made me feel pretty, I don't know, pretty ready to go to war. His
Like it was
speeches,
literally made to coincide with the American D-Day, Normandy. Once
Wow.
more onto the breach. Kind of crazy.
So all the Americans could come and watch some movies after
Yeah.
they stormed
yeah,
the beach.
Winston Churchill allegedly directly said, "Hey, we're gonna make this propaganda," and the film like doubled its budget,
Nice.
but
yo, he's a real one.
won an Academy Award. It's pretty sick. Also, if
In
you think
Band of
about the
Brothers.
opening shot of the panning shot over the city, that probably struck
London.
true to a lot of Londoners after they got fucking
Yeah,
bombed for a few years straight. They're like, hey,
Although that was London 340 years
but
prior.
yeah.
still,
I think
but
the
still,
landscape had changed a little bit.
But the
they'd
heart of
be
London remains.
yeah, exactly. They'd be like, oh, there's still some of us left. They can't bomb all of us.
He can't bomb all of us.
They haven't hit the globe yet.
I did think it was interesting to hear the we few, we happy few, we band of brothers, then knowing, the Band of Brothers TV series set in World War II. So I don't know
I
if that was any correlation, but
have
I
that
know
on
they named it
Blu-ray.
after the play.
That's sick.
Yeah.
It's so interesting to look at this movie as like wartime propaganda, as just like a morale boost for the British people.
It's
I don't
kind of
know.
funny to being war propaganda, like with what we were saying earlier, and the reason they got into the war being so kind of
Yeah,
unjustified
The message
versus
gets
World
a
War
little
II, which is one
misconstrued.
of the, I would say, most justified wars.
yeah,
Like,
But a war that Britain famously was like constantly trying to avoid and not fight. Like
yeah.
fucking what was his name? Wasn't Neville Chamberlain, was it?
yeah, something like that. It was definitely Chamberlain. I don't know the
Um
first name.
yeah, he said something famously about the Nazis. Yeah,
He-
yeah, he's remembered for his support for the policy of appeasement towards Adolf Hitler over the annexation of Czechoslovakia and signing the Munich Agreement.
I think that's the guy Churchill called a sheep in sheep's clothing.
Double sheep.
Man, Churchill sucked, but that's bars. Shit.
Yeah.
There was also one of the royal family who was flying out and meeting with the Nazis, and I think was on record
Ah.
at one point saying, just bomb London a bit more and you'll get him, basically.
Really?
Damn.
I
Oh,
think
the
British
royal family.
politicians, man.
they believe that the Nazis would keep the royal family if they
Oh
conquered
my
them. I don't
god,
know if
that
that's
is
I
so
true.
mean,
disgusting.
yeah, that I bet they would have. Why not?
Yeah.
The most like white inbred
God, that is
people.
gross.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that British politicians suck ass, right?
Who would
Historically,
have
that
thought?
has
Mm.
been not the case, I thought.
No, no.
The British
Been the
blood in me
best.
wants to say no.
But it can't. You're standing here on colonized land. You're like, oh yeah, no,
I
Britain
have a
kind of
little bit
sucks.
of British in me, but I denounce that actually. I denounce all the British in me.
Going on the record denouncing it.
The only parts of me that are left, I've denounced all of it, are the Australian in me, the Italian in me, and the Albertan in me. That's all there is in me
Mm.
left.
I feel
No
like the Albertan
Saskatchewan
and
in
the
you.
Australian are partially British too.
Yeah.
I have no Australian in me. I just claim that.
You just
Okay.
claim that.
Been
Identify as
watching
Australian.
For
been
the
watching a
crime.
Mid
lot of
mix.
me and Mix. I've been watching a lot of Big Les with Graham, which is like this stoner comedy Australian series that's animated entirely in MS Paint. It's kind of the
Oh my
greatest thing
god.
ever made. And it's 4 seasons deep, and it starts as just shit posts. By the end, it had me crying. It's genuinely art. It's so good. I'm so Australian filled, it's not even funny. So,
Ah, those Aussies.
fucking oath. Fucking oath. Picnic at Hanging Rock. Walk a beat.
Furiosa's
Banger.
bombing though. You didn't go see Furiosa. You're not supporting your people.
Ah, I was too busy. I was supporting my people where it counted. Big Les show.
Mm.
Garfield.
Garfield. Garfield is an Australian.
No, no. It's the anti-Australia.
Big Les show is on Letterbox. That's so sick. That's so
Massive.
sick. It was all worth it now. Oh my god.
You can
Oh my
blog
god.
something. Oh my god.
Oh my god. It wasn't a waste of time. uh,
I hate watching something and
so
then it's not on Letterboxd.
pisses me off, man.
It happened a couple times at SIF. It was like, what was the point? Why did we just watch that
Yeah,
garbage?
yeah. Thank God Benji's Hour was on there though, eh?
Yeah. Uh, Benji's Hour.
Dude,
We're still
dude,
waiting for a release.
have we
Oh
announced the
yeah.
big Gabe news? This is
This is
massive.
crazy.
This is
What?
massive.
Our favorite filmmaker, Gabe, whatever his last name is,
Kahane.
Kahane, director of Benji's Hour, is directing a documentary set in Israel about the conflict,
Even is
Does
which is
David
just
Benji's hour.
insane.
does
David,
David
do you
know that
know
Gabe
anything about Benji's Hour?
I know nothing.
Oh my lordy.
I'm looking it up.
It
You're
was
not going to find anything looking it up,
it was
really.
this film,
I think I found
this
it.
this awful film made at SIF in New York.
Yeah, made in
It
New
was
York.
made entirely by Gabe Kahane. He was everything
He
except
self-produced it.
cinematographer.
He dropped out of film
Dropped out of
school
film school to make,
to make this movie.
and it was like just I hate to say laughably bad, but you know,
So there's
laughably
no
We'll
bad.
call
camera
them back
movements in it
laughs.
or anything?
Pardon?
No, the cinematography is pretty nice in that movie, but that's the
Oh
only
yeah,
thing Gabe didn't do. That's the
literally,
only thing.
literally. He like acts in it too.
Yeah, and he has
It's
like
crazy.
no chemistry with the lead, and the lead is really not good. The
So
story
bad.
of how the lead got cast was like, yeah, we got drunk together, and I just felt a vibe, man. It's like, oh, it's
Oh
not
But
my
that's
good.
how a lot of
god.
people have been cast.
Yeah, yeah, but didn't work out in this case.
It was yeah. And now he's making a fucking conflict of a film about the conflict in Israel, which is so crazy because Benji's Hour is like one of the least nuanced films I've ever seen. And now
Yeah,
he's trying to
I have a
tackle like a
crazy feeling he's
pretty
gonna have a terrible take, but
I'm
who's to
so
say?
hyped. I'm so hyped. I'm
It
so
better come to
hyped.
SIF.
Oh my god.
How
This
far
is
would you
big.
travel to see that movie?
I feel like I'd go to the ends of the earth. I'd go to Israel. I'd go to an active war zone to see this.
Yeah,
How did you find out about this, Sam?
I was looking at his website. I was like, because every
He has a
now and then I'm like, did he get a distributor for that for Benji's Hour because I want
Yeah,
to show Graham. Um,
we need
and
to do
so
a
I'll like
commentary
look
track.
around. I know, but it's just not available anywhere.
It only has 15 watches on IMDb.
Oh yeah, look at we have a pretty big conspiracy about that.
That's a crazy average.
Pretty crazy, right?
It's
There's
crazy.
all
It's like a lot of those reviews too are only have one review on that account. So I don't know. Who's to say?
Because they loved it so much they had to create a canon.
That's what we're saying.
Gabe is
Gabe's
my
my
favorite.
hero.
I see so much of myself in Gabe. I see the
So
whole
worried.
universe in Gabe.
It's a warning. Stay
Yeah,
in school.
it's cool. You know, you can't do it
Listen
all
to
by
other
yourself.
people.
Fucking film. It takes a village to make a film, you know? Can't do
Not
it all
just
by
three
yourself.
guys.
Oh my lordy.
When it's
Yeah,
Olivier could have
he
done
even
it.
got some like stars in it, right? Like there's that one
Yeah,
character
yeah.
actor who's in it who's like in Martin Scorsese movies and stuff. Like,
Who like blows everything out of the water.
oh my god, she's so much better than everybody else in this movie. It's
Fuck,
so
every
funny.
time we mention Benji's Hour, it just turns into a 10-15 minute segment of us just like shitting on it.
I remember everything. Okay, yeah, say what you will about Benji's Hour. I remember every part of that movie. Like,
Yeah. Which
I,
is more than I could say about the Werner Herzog documentary or like the
yeah, exactly.
technology one, right? The
Yeah,
camera one, I guess.
yeah. Benji's Hour
Benji's
was
Hour,
memorable, but just
Monster and Benji's Hour, the two highlights of that festival.
I want to make Benji's Hour like The Room. Like once there's any kind of physical version of it, I'm gonna give it to Gabe, and it's gonna play at Metro, and I'm gonna be like, "This is your new midnight movie." Like it will catch on.
Fuck, and we just create this whole arc for Gabe of reconcile with the beast he has made, death of the author type
Exactly.
shit. That'd
He
be
would come on
beautiful,
the
man.
podcast.
We gotta get Gabe on the podcast,
We
man.
gotta.
Just to
I think
promote his film.
I'd be so nervous, man. Because what if he comes in here
We've we've
hostile?
we've seen him. Oh, if he comes in here hostile, man, I'd still be so happy that he came on. Like,
I'm so bad with confrontation, man. I'm so
You're like, I
bad
love
with
Benji's Hour. It's
I
the
love
best.
well, you know what happened at the festival, man? He was giving his speech, and we were walking out, and they had these iPads to
he's
rate
right
Benji's
behind
Hour,
us.
and
He's
he was
walking
right
right
behind
behind us.
literally right behind me, and I wanted to drop a 1 star on that, but he was right behind me, and I didn't have the heart to do it, so I gave it fucking 3 stars, like a cow, like a
And you gave
goddamn
him a
coward.
thumbs up, right? You're
Yeah,
like,
oh, it was so awkward because I was exiting the aisle just as he was leaving the stage, so I
oh
bumped
man.
right into him. So he like looked at me. He's like, this look in his eyes. You just saw my film. I'm the filmmaker. You must have something to say to me. And I just like did the white person smile and gave him a thumbs up. It was,
That's how he got all
oh,
his tens on IMDb.
yeah, it was just all these people who felt too bad to shit on him.
Just put it
Yeah.
over
Oh,
their shoulder.
it was so tough because like when he's up there on the stage, it humanizes him, right? It's like you're
But it
connecting
humanize
with this
he's
other.
also like just like a rich kid, right? Like he's telling the story
Yeah,
of how he like self-financed this, like
he's
I
from
don't
New
know.
York
He's from New York,
too.
like he's got money. So
I know.
I don't feel super bad for him, but
I do
man,
because I know there's a very good chance that one day it's gonna be me up on that stage, and the applause is gonna start 2 minutes into the credits,
oh man.
and I will want the benefit of the doubt. I will want the empathy when I'm there.
Yeah, David, Jake had to
Uh,
start the clap. Like
yeah.
nobody was
No.
clapping at the end of the movie, and he was
It's
like,
a
"We
it's
gotta
a
No.
clap. We gotta clap."
yeah, he, like, leaned over to us, he's like, "We got guys, clap, clap."
Oh man.
It was fucking
Oh,
rough.
it was so funny.
I don't
Oh
know
I
how
hope he
god.
critics do it. Because critics know a lot of filmmakers.
Yeah, man. Oh, that's why,
I
like,
think I mean, he just also had
all the filmmakers you see on Letterboxd, like, they never go that hard on any films. It's always positive reviews or no star
yeah.
reviews,
I think
just
they
with a
know they
heart.
can't.
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
Like, it's
want
all
They
about
don't they
flack.
don't wanna make enemies with people, right? Like, there's no point in
yeah.
doing that. we're low on level enough that
If
I don't
we
think
hypothetically ever got to a place, are we gonna have to private some reviews? Because I know I've started some flame wars on some of my reviews.
But
yeah, I definitely have to.
if like Cronenberg gets mad at me, he's bringing me to his level by even
That's
deigning to
true.
speak to me.
That's true.
That's true. That's true.
But the thing is with
Maybe I
Gabe,
should
I don't
start.
feel that we're that far away.
I know. I know.
He's also waiting for a theatrical distributor. That's what he said at the Q&A.
Oh,
He's not going to
Gabriel.
take any
Does he have an
streaming.
email? If he has an
He
email, we
might.
could just
We're not going
fucking
to
we could
dox it, but
if he has an email, we could just fucking be like,
there's a
shoot our
contact
shot.
page on his website. There
Just
is an
shoot our
email.
shot. Shoot our shot. Be like, come on the pod, give us this. We could just shoot our shot. That's so
Good.
terrifying though.
That's it.
Oh
No
my god.
shot.
I just got a pit in my stomach getting that notification. It's real.
Send him an email.
Fuck, what would we even say? We
We saw
loved
your
Benji's
film
Hour.
Benji's Hour. We'd love to talk to you about it.
Here's how we'd have to do it. We'd have to set it up like a normal Critterpit episode. But then
But
he'd
if
go back
he
and
We would have
watches
to okay.
back,
No,
he,
before we send it, we have to privatize the Sif episode.
oh my god.
Because he won't be able to. Because if he clicks the Sif episode, half that episode is about Benji's Hour.
Literally like
Um,
an hour or something.
so
and this episode,
no, but
you
he
gotta
won't
do
click
some
on this
editing.
episode. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
Like,
It's just Henry V.
yeah.
You'd be like, oh, I want to see
Although,
the
like,
most
how
recent.
often do we talk about Benji's Hour? It's probably like, I don't know,
It's a good
one in
amount.
four.
Yeah, we hit it. It's a recurring bit. And would we just set that up as like a completely normal pod? That'd be pretty
Yep.
epic.
Yeah.
That would be
Just
so
like we
fucking
want to promote your
Inception.
movie. We want to get it to films, or we want to like show it in theaters. That's what we want to do.
But then when he like, I see so many ways how this could just result in this dude being like vehemently pissed at us.
But who cares? Like,
I know I don't want to be a dick, but it would be
I mean, I
so
haven't
funny.
seen it. I could just email him and go. Some of my friends told me about Benji's Hour. Can I watch it?
That's
Maybe.
yeah.
true.
I want to send him an email from the Critterpit email.
Okay, let's
I think
wait a
that's
few
the way
weeks
we got to
before
do
we
it.
hit this. Let's wait a few weeks and we'll strategize. Get a few more eps between this one to buffer it, right?
Okay, yeah.
But we
I'll
need to
never know.
strategize. This is a big catch.
We'll slowly start talking about Benji's Hour in a more positive light.
Well,
Yeah, yeah. The episode before we email him, we should have like a planned segment, where like,
Yeah.
I've been thinking about Benji's Hour, and like, I really appreciate the acting in that. Like, that was really
The
beautiful.
writing of that movie is very interesting. It's very
It's
smart.
just it's truthful. It's truthful at the end of the
You can
day.
tell you can tell that guy has been through
worked at
that
a
kind of
wig
thing.
shop for cancer patients.
Yeah. Fuck, it's so awful. Oh my god, it's so like trying to hit all the emotional beats. Speed run. It's
I
rough.
just want to have a copy of that movie in my possession. That's my dream. More than any other movie. I need Benji's Hour.
Is this gonna be mean spirited? I don't want to be mean spirited towards Gabe.
No, the app wouldn't be, I don't think.
It'd just be
I would come in with genuine questions.
the bit is just that we got this guy on. That would be the bit.
Yeah, I guess it is mean spirited in
Yeah.
that sense.
Yeah. We got to think about how we're tackling this.
Yeah. Oh well, poor Gabe.
Poor Gabe.
Release your movie, coward.
So hyped for Israel and Palestine movie.
He's gonna solve it.
He's gonna get Gabe in
that.
there.
I would love that.
The movie's called Solving the fucking Israel-Palestine conflict.
No, but what if he solved it for real? Like that's what he became
What-
famous for. He becomes like a major celebrity, and then he drops Benji's Hour. Like, wouldn't that be incredible?
That's our next sketch right there. Gabe
Yeah.
solves Israel-Palestine conflict. Becomes the Messiah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. Anyways, 6 out of 10, Henry 5.
Yeah, I gave it a 6 out of 10 as well. I think on a rewatch, or if I had studied the plot more, I knew how to understand Shakespeare better, I would have appreciated it more.
A
I'm
lot
kind of
more.
between 3.5 and 4. I really quite liked it.
That's fair. Yeah.
I
A
was
lot to
surprised how much I liked
appreciate,
it.
just
Yeah.
technically wise. It's just so much of the story was lost on me.
Yeah, it's just too old for me, frankly.
Oh yeah,
The
you know what I say. Anything older than 2021 is pretty cringe.
pretty
I do have a
cringe.
question for you guys. What do you guys think of the ending? Like the sudden turn into like a rom-com and then a sudden marriage.
I felt it felt so disconnected from the rest of the movie.
Yeah,
I was like, "Did I miss
all
something? Like,
I was pretty
why is
tapped
this
out at that
happening
point,
now?"
so that tapped me out even harder.
It felt
Uh,
really sudden, but I kind of like the dialogue. I'd watch a whole movie
there, wa-
with that vibe.
Do you speak French? Or, like, were there English subtitles at all
No, there
in the
were
original
not in the
English?
French
Yeah.
scene where she's trying
Yeah.
to learn English.
Yeah.
No, there was no
uh,
subtitles.
reminds me of I've been reading a lot of Cormac McCarthy, and a lot of his books are like partially set in Mexico, and he like rarely translates to Spanish in those. It's interesting.
Mm,
Just leaves you in the dark, like assumed darkness, because most people who are reading this do not know Spanish or can't read Spanish. So it's an
yeah.
interesting choice.
In War and Peace, there's just swaths of it are in French, and
Yeah.
like they'll have a footnote that'll translate it, which is a real pain. Does
It is a
Cormac
real pain.
McCarthy not even bother to do that?
Cormac
Cormac
McCarthy will
McCarthy
have.
doesn't even use punctuation, right? Like, he's
I'm so McCarthy filled. I love it, bro. I'm so into it now. I didn't like it when I read No Country, but I'm like 1.5 books deep now. It's so sick.
I want
It's
to
so
read
sick.
Blood Meridian.
That's the one I'm
yeah.
hitting after the Border trilogy. Dude, hit the Border trilogy. All the Pretty Horses, like, is so fucking good. Oh my god. That shit expanded my brain. And
You
then The
read War and
Crossing.
Peace, and I'll read Cormac McCarthy.
Which one, sorry?
That's a huge ask.
Which one is this?
War
War
and
and
Peace.
Peace.
War and Peace.
Yeah.
What's this?
War and Peace, not War and
Oh,
Peace.
oh, War and Peace. Stop with that, Dave. I'm familiar that it's a 7-hour long film. Is the book any better?
The book is great.
How long
Is
did
Is
it
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 take you to read the
longer?
book, David?
A little while.
how
A
many
little while.
pages? How many pages?
I want to say it was like 1,300 pages.
Okay.
It's not it's not undoable. It's kind of small print, but
A
Oh
lot of
shit.
it's in French. You can just ignore the French.
I'm I'm
it
reading this
gets
Border
less French as
trilogy.
it goes on.
Oh no.
Border trilogy is I have like just one release of it. Like it's all in one book, right? And that's 1,037 pages and pretty big print. And it's
See,
taking me
that's
a while to
nearly a
get
War
through
and
that.
Peace.
I don't know, man. No. The second book in it, The Crossing, brought me to tears like 3 times. It's so sick. So good. I
See,
know a book is good when it's like all I'm thinking about when I'm reading is like, fuck, I want to adapt this and steal the clout from this. I need to steal this clout.
Yeah,
from Cormac
Th-
McCarthy.
Yeah, it's my clout
that's mine. Cormac's dead. What's he gonna do?
now. Yeah. Same feeling I was getting when I was reading Dune. Just I want to make one of these. I want to steal this clout. This is too good.
Then he beat you to it.
No, I want to hit God Emperor because I can do Cronenberg stuff shit with that. Just saying.
Does the
It
Spanish
all comes
in
back.
McCarthy like? Does it actually? Is it necessary to understand the book?
There's some parts where it's like there's exchanges where you're like not gonna understand the specifics. But I find it interesting because it forces you to like pick up on the context clues and like really pay attention to the descriptors of how people are acting. And like his prose can be a little like not truncated, but like a little complicated sometimes. So it really forces you to engage and be like, okay, I need to know what's happening here just through these little hints. It's cool, but I wouldn't say it's a
Mhm.
100%. When it's like 100% necessary, they'll have like a passage where like it'll explain the
Yeah.
brief
Mm.
footnote to what's happening. But for
Well,
the
was
most
that the
part,
publisher that did that, or was
oh,
like
I
did
doubt it.
Cormac
No,
McCarthy just not care? Was he like, yeah,
I think
everyone
it's an
should know both languages?
intentional. No, I think it's an intentional style, just to like really immerse you in the vibe and the setting. I think it's amazing. I think it's really cool, just feeling like this stranger in a different land. I don't know. It
It is
works well,
interesting.
really well for me. I'm loving it. Cormac's one of those ones where I've had to like put a lot of time and effort into it to like really start appreciating it, but it's been such a
Mm.
rewarding read through. I'm loving it.
I do want
I'm
to try stuff.
I'm hyped to get to Blood Meridian because that's the one people always say, "Oh, this is an
That's the magnum
unadaptable film.
opus.
Can't be
Yeah,
made into a film."
yeah, that's what I always hear about it too.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna read it.
You're
I'm
gonna
gonna be
do
like,
it, Ethan?
okay.
You're gonna make
I'm gonna
it?
be like,
Third
I'm
year
gonna be like,
project?
I'm like, here's what you're gonna do. Here's what you're gonna do. Lay it all out for everyone. All these dumb
You just
dumbs.
turn the camera on. It's
Matt
not
says
that
he wants
hard.
to.
Press
Matt
record.
says he. Matt says he wants to adapt Blood Meridian.
Matt does.
Yeah,
Gotta
Sure.
beat him to it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Steal his idea.
Cormac goaded though. Cormac goaded.
Gotta read the Brontes first.
The witch.
I'm reading like Wuthering Heights. I'm
Okay.
listening
Kate
to
Bush
Jane
song.
Eyre. Kate Bush song goes pretty hard.
It's a great song.
Hot take, maybe better than Running Up the Hill or whatever it's called.
But was it in Stranger Things? So
I like
Mm,
that Babushka song.
yeah, that one's good.
Babushka,
that's a
Babushka.
good song, yeah.
I need to listen to more Kate Bush.
I really like her first like early album. She wrote a lot of it when she was a teenager, I think, but it's got good
That's sick.
Mm.
vibes.
I wish musicals art, man. I feel like there's potential there.
There's something there. It's missing a visual element, but once it gets
Yeah.
that,
Music videos. Has that been considered before?
has that been done?
Has that been done? Write that down. We're
Yeah.
on to something.
It's like a small
Speaking of
movie.
music, I'm seeing an artist coming up,
Who you seeing?
freaking Childish Gambino. It's gonna be
Really?
sick. Yeah.
When are you seeing Childish Gambino?
In the fall, in September, I believe, with Jakey and Keegan and Caleb.
That's sick.
It's gonna be sick. Yeah, very sick. The famous Community actor.
I've heard it's a different guy.
Is it?
Pretty sure.
Damn,
They look
that's
similar
racist. That was racist of me. My bad.
though.
My bad.
Might be. Now Gabe's never
Might
gonna
be.
come on the pod.
Fuck. Damn it.
Is Gabe very anti-racism in Benji's Hour?
Benji's Hour is a famously anti-racist film.
It's good.
Benji's Hour is kind of just everything good in the world distilled into film.
So this brings an important film question then. Is a bad movie with good intentions better than a good movie with bad intentions? Is art its moral?
Ah,
I think it all depends on just how it stands, regardless of the author. You know,
so
gotta.
if it agrees with you, then it's good. That's what you're saying? If it
Well, like
agrees with your take?
I don't think like just you gotta look at stuff not in a vacuum of like its intentions, right? You gotta look at its real world impact. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So Birth of a Nation versus Benji's Hour.
Which is
Mhm.
worse?
Probably. God, you're hitting me with these historian questions. Fuck. Um, probably Birth of a Nation because it
That's a
killed
tough one,
people.
though.
It's a tough one. It's real tough. Real tough.
It's close. The movie that's responsible for restarting the KKK or Benji's Hour?
Yeah, just Benji's Hour, bad technique.
Yeah.
Which is worse?
What do you think of Birth of a Nation, David? I've seen
I
your
think
letterbox rating.
it's a complicated film. I think it's hard to judge a movie based on its moral alone. I I feel like you have to judge. I don't know. Like I've thought about it a lot, and it's hard to put into words. but
No
I feel like
star
there's
This
a
is
rating.
lot of
going on the
movies that I
internet
wouldn't.
forever, so be
Yeah,
careful.
there's a lot of movies I
No
wouldn't
star
necessarily
rating.
agree with that I can still like see merits in.
Yeah, no, I definitely
Yeah.
think you can appreciate a film for its technical qualities, but still accept that it's very egregious.
Yep.
Birth of a Nation is just like the best movie to talk about in that sense,
Hmm.
where it is so obviously bad historically, like it directly is bad.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You can't say it isn't unless you're like part of the KKK.
Super racist. Yeah.
Yeah. But it also is obviously very influential and has done a lot for film.
Yeah, and
And
like
some
it's one of
people
those. Oh, sorry. Go
go
ahead.
ahead. I was just gonna say some people like bring up other films around the same time that were doing similar things. But even if you bring up those films now, those weren't the films that were inspiring people. Those weren't the
Yeah.
ones that
Well,
were
and
played in the White
everybody saw
House.
Birth of a Nation too, right? Like
Yeah.
it was huge.
It
I
was the
think
first
like
one played in the White House.
Yeah.
its impact, however awful it is, does still show its like effectiveness as a film. It still used like the film form and narrative story and cinematic storytelling to get this awful point across, but it still, you know, nailed that point through the way it was constructed. Just shows the power of filmmaking, good filmmaking.
Yeah. So
It's
is a
potent.
film judged
Filmmaking.
just on how good it conveys what it wants to convey, no matter what that thing is? But then what about films that try and convey something really deep versus something that tries to convey something just like, goofy, funny comedy movie? Can you judge those on the same plane?
Yeah. I judge them on Letterbox all the time.
It's
But it's
really
hard to
tough.
compare Citizen Kane
It
with,
is
I don't know,
Freddie got
super
fingered.
Clueless.
bad.
And I think Clueless is a fantastic movie. But yeah, super bad. They're aiming for different things.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
combination of so many factors. Column A, column B. It's hard to find clear cut answers in anything, especially art. Um,
Yeah. I think any kind of like objective ranking is difficult too. Like, I mean, especially
yeah,
with
yeah.
art, like you can't look at a movie and be like, "Oh, it's the best movie because it made the most money or whatever." Like,
Mhm.
so much of art is goes underappreciated and
So much of art is just like
whatever.
what an audience brings into a film, right? The
Yeah,
personal
and
life
it's going to be
experiences
different
they've
from
had.
person to person too, right? Like,
Yeah.
I saw the TV Glow again last night because I love
I
Mm,
that
want to
movie.
see that.
Movie of the year for me.
gotta hit that.
I loved it. You guys should definitely go see it. But one of the people that I went with really didn't connect with it at all, which was
Mhm.
like it was very interesting to me. They came out of it and they're like, I don't know, it's just a weird movie. It was like, no, like so much more. But it's
Mm.
just everybody takes something different from art, right? So
I also feel like it's changed with the generations. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but I feel like our generation is even more into the whole art is completely subjective than past generations.
I
Like
I
past,
don't know that I necessarily agree with that, like in a whole sense, because there's some pretty dumb people in our generation. Like as there are with
I
everybody. I
think
think something that I've
the
thought about
advent
too is just like being in like film school and being, surrounded by kind of, slightly more like artsy people kind of sometimes skews my worldview to be like, oh yeah, no, everything is pretty cool. Like the young generation is cool. And then I'll meet some other people. I'm like, oh, never mind.
mm,
Everything's fucked. Like,
yeah.
it goes from group to group. And
yeah,
I
I
think
just feel like,
social media creates some trends, you know?
yeah,
Things get dissipated and ideas and talking points get dissipated so much quicker. You look at how
hmm
people who enjoy films like deeply are labeled and discussed on online. It's I don't know. It's interesting how quickly public opinion can be swayed through just social media discourse and how art can be viewed in different ways. Like you saw that meme.
hmm
I don't know how long ago it was now, but like talking about like the curtains being blue and LA teachers over analyzing
yeah, yeah.
things, which has a kernel of truth. But I don't know. I think it's such a silly way to view art because it's just like, why not see meaning somewhere? Why shut that down? Why turn down critical thinking like that just
Yeah,
because I don't
exactly.
know, it doesn't connect with you? And that was so widely proliferated that that became like the talking point, the accepted way to view. I don't know, deeper thinking about art. So it just, I don't know.
I feel
I
like
think
I've
that's
seen a
funny.
lot of.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I think it's funny that people can gloss over like details in art to be like, oh, like, that artist didn't intend that, obviously. But it's like when you're making a movie or even like you're painting something or writing, you're doing every part of it, right? Like
Yeah,
every part
Yeah.
of it is so involved. So of course,
And even if
maybe the
it
curtains are
were
blue for a reason, and they probably are. Like
even
there's
if it
some thought
was
that went into it.
unintentional, it still subconsciously or consciously not affects the mood and
And they were chosen.
impact
Like,
of on an audience,
yeah,
yeah.
you know?
It survived various drafts, and
yeah,
even if you didn't think about it for a moment, maybe you associate blue curtains with the time you got hit in the face with a baseball or something.
Exactly.
yeah, exactly.
It still tweaks an audience's perception of this art a little bit, so it still has merit. Yeah.
I feel like I've seen a lot of discourse online, especially of like negative reviews, where people would just kind of go, "Then why would you watch it? Why would you think
So silly.
talk about it?"
Yeah,
But
Because that's coming from a viewpoint of seeing movies and art as just entertainment, right? That if you
yeah,
yeah. I
didn't
should
enjoy
only be
something,
entertained by this
you
movie. I
didn't get anything from it, which is so backwards.
yeah,
You should be able to get so much from just why you didn't like it, why it didn't connect with you, what parts of it didn't work with you. It should
yeah.
inform you on yourself and the world and the piece of art. I don't know. I genuinely think that LA needs to be completely overhauled, like language arts in
yeah,
the education system. 'Cause, like, I was in, like, advanced streams of LA in high school, so I got, like, great teachers and great course materials and great
Hmm.
material in general. So that, like, instilled with me this just love and appreciation for art and just how, like, powerful and potent of a tool is. Like, we were just talking about how effective cinema is for propaganda. Like, this has genuine
mhm,
Yeah,
real life consequences, and I think it needs to be prioritized more. I understand why it isn't prioritized more in education systems because we're just fucking creating workers or whatnot. But I don't know. Teach us critical thinking. Art is important.
exactly. Yeah,
some
teach us critical thinking just for being a person in the world. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
going day to day, it's good to be a critical thinker.
Something else I was going to bring up when I talked about the changing of through generations, and I don't know if this is really that or if it's just an isolated thing. But do you guys remember when Sight and Sound did their last poll and everybody freaked
Mm,
out because
Yeah,
yeah. Gene
Vertigo and
Dealman.
Citizen Kane weren't at the top?
yeah.
Was it Gene Dealman?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I forget the full title.
Gene Dealman, un, two, three, something in French. Yeah, I don't know why people care so much, man. And I don't know why people
Yeah,
can't just be like, oh, I recognize why this thing would, in someone else's or a group of people's perspective, be the most important film of all time. Why that creates so much controversy. Even if it was fucking Solo on the top of the list, a film which I personally have many issues with and have struggled with for a long time, I would still be like, yeah, I can see how that consensus could be came to.
I don't know that I can see that.
It
I
wouldn't, I
still
don't know.
haven't seen it.
It wouldn't piss me off, but I'd be like, yeah, there's, an argument to be made, and my opinion isn't the end all be all.
Well, and also with these kind of like lists and like categorizations, right? It's like it's so many different perspectives that it's like, what's the one or like two that are like, maybe consistent throughout the top five? It's not necessarily like the best movie. It's the it's like that middle one that can like sustain all these other people's votes, right?
Mm.
Like
Hmm.
Yeah,
that's the problem with all these kind of elections and stuff. It's never the best thing that makes it to the top. It's the often the most agreeable thing.
I think
Yeah.
it's interesting though that Sight and Sound until then, I think was basically seen as the canon, the film canon. This is the
Hmm.
masters. This is great. Like it was the only list that Roger Ebert would submit to. It's the only
Hmm.
time he ever made top tens was for Sight and Sound. So it's interesting that it changed so much, and I think they who was submitting to it.
Yeah.
I feel like it has. I feel like it's emblematic of larger criticism in
Hmm.
film. I don't know exactly what that means, but
It's interesting to think about.
Yeah. There's something there for sure.
Yeah.
Well, this has been
Well,
a great episode.
yeah, this has been awesome.
sorry, I've derailed this completely.
No,
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 no, no.
no.
This is
I'm
good. That's what
fucking.
the Critterpit is. It's never just about the movie. It's good to see where the
I
conversation
love
goes, and
getting into
this was a really
tangents
good one.
about film and
Yeah,
film
I really like
discourse.
this episode.
And we gotta have
I'm
you on
very
again,
happy
David.
to be on here. Yeah,
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 great
get me
guest.
on
And
again.
in my
we'll
opinion,
get you on
probably
with
the best
other
David.
David. Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm joking. I don't pick favorites. But
What
We'll
if I
see
had to? Gun to my
once I
head.
hear his thoughts on Malik. We'll see.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll see.
whoever likes Cronenberg more is my favorite David.
Yeah.
But David, we always let our guests do a recommendation. Well, when we
Yep.
remember to do this segment, we
Yeah.
do.
Of
And
just
from our
any
discussion,
film.
yeah, I'm assuming it's gonna be Birth of a Nation's your recommendation for the day.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hit
I
us with one.
my recommendation is not going to be Malik because that's what you're expecting.
It was
Oh.
It's
that or
going to
Hawks.
be. It's going to be Hawks. It's going to be His Girl
Yeah.
Friday.
His
Go
Girl
watch His
Friday.
Girl
His Girl
Friday.
Friday.
It is a banger of a film. Dialogue is immaculate. You should
Critters,
watch
go
it.
check it out.
Yeah. Very good rec.
Great
will
rec.
Watch it right away.
I will check
Maybe.
it out.
You
Maybe.
better.
You guys know there's a new Cronenberg coming out this year?
The Shrouds.
Is
So
it
sick. Pretty
Daddy
hyped.
Cronenberg or Will Cronenberg?
Daddy. Daddy.
Oh, and Daughter Cronenberg had a movie that came out this year as well. Did
I
you see
gotta
that,
hit
Ethan?
that. I gotta hit that.
You should be
did
looking
not.
forward to the Will Shyamalan film. Is it his daughter
I
or his
don't
son?
give a damn about the Shyamalans. Sorry. Shyamalans. Ugh.
Let's make you change that.
Yeah. You're going to
Maybe.
love The Daughter.
The Shyamalan binge. That's what
The
I'm getting.
Shyamalan clan.
Ugh. We love it, folks.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, David, for coming on.
Yeah.
Thank
Great
you for
episode.
having
David.
me.
It's
All
been a
right.
great episode. Bye.